All right, today we're going to talk a little bit about metric conversion. We've done some of this before with some of our warm-up problems that we've had, but you can see here I've kind of written some stuff out that I'm going to kind of go over first. Remember we talked about a little mnemonic device to help you remember the order of the metric system when you're working with metric conversion. King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. The K stands for the biggest unit, which is kilo. That's the biggest prefix. The H stands for hecto. The D stands for deca, and it's D-E-K-A. The B stands for base units, and that's whether you're dealing with meters, liters, or grams, and those are only represented by one letter. The drinking stands for deci. The deci prefix. The C in chocolate stands for centi. And the milk represents milli, which is the smallest. So the biggest unit is kilo, goes all the way down to the smallest unit is milli. Now, if you're talking about measuring lengths and distances, you're going to use the base unit of meters. So it would be kilometer, or km, hectometer, or hm, decameter, which the D has come off of this, would be dkm. Deci is just one D, dm, centi, cm, millimeter, mm. Now, if you're just talking about something that's measured to the nearest meter, it's just the one letter, M. Same thing if you're going to measure liquid of anything, you're going to use liters. And it is KL for kiloliter, HL for hectoliter, DKL for decaliter. The L would be for liters. The DL for deciliters, the CL for centiliter, and then the smallest would be milliliters. And if you're measuring the weight of something, it's grams. Kilograms would be kg, hectograms, hg, decagram, dkg. Grams would just be the G. Decigram is DG, centigram, CG, and milligram, MG. Once again, King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. The K is kilo, H, hecto, D, deca. The B represents the base units. The drinking is deci, chocolate, centi, milk represents milli. And I'm going to, as I work through some of these problems, I'm going to show you a shortened version that you can do. But kind of having that memorized helps you to be able to convert metric units. Okay, let's look at example 1. Example 1 says 3m, that's one letter, so that's got to be meters, converted to how many centimeters? So King Hector died by drinking chocolate milk. That's meters is my unit, so it's going to be km, hm. Remember, these are my base units, so this is just going to be meters, decimeters, centimeters, millimeters. And then I can quickly draw me a little chart, just like so. And I'm starting at 1m, which is meters, so that's 3m. And I'm going to centimeters, so I'm moving to the right. How many places? 1, 2. So I'm moving 2 places to the right. Now, what am I moving 2 places to the right? The decimal. So when I look at the number 3, I don't see a decimal, but I know if I don't see a decimal, it is behind it. So I'm going to move that decimal 2 places to the right. 1, 2. So now my decimal's here. It's not there anymore. So I fill in with 2 zeros. So 3 meters is 300 centimeters. Example 2. 11 cm, which is centimeters, is how many mm, which is millimeter? King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. I'm doing meters, so km, hm, dkm, m, decimeters, centimeters, millimeters. So I've quickly made me a little metric conversion chart. I'm starting this time at centimeters. So 11 centimeters is how many millimeters? I'm moving one place to the right. So what am I moving one place to the right? My decimal. So I have 11. There's my decimal. I'm going to move it one place to the right. So my decimal is no longer here. It's here. I'm going to fill in with 1 0. So the answer would be 110 millimeters. 11 centimeters is the same thing as 110 millimeters. Example 3. Once again, I'm going to set up my chart. I'm still dealing in meters. King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Kilometer, hectometer, decameter. These are my base. Decimeter, centimeter, millimeter. Quickly make me up a little chart. I'm going from meters to decimeters. So meters, it's one letter. So I know that's my meter is here. So that's 40 meters. And I'm going to DM, not DKM, just DM. I'm going one place to the right. So there's my decimal. One place to the right. My decimal moves from here to here. I fill in with a 0. So it's 400. All right, example 4. King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. And see, the more I do this, the quicker it gets for me to be able to convert it. So I'm still dealing with meters, so it's kilometers, hectometers. Remember, deca has the DK. My base unit is meters, decimeters, centimeters, millimeters. So look, I'm starting at kilometers. So I have 202 kilometers, and I'm going all the way here to millimeters. It's 2 letters, so I know it's not meters, it's millimeters. I'm going from the biggest kilo to the smallest milli. How many places am I going to move my decimal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 places to the right. Okay, so I'm moving my decimal 6 places to the right. So I'm going to come up here. I don't see my decimal, so I know it's there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my decimal's no longer there. It's all the way at the end. And all these loops, I'm going to fill in with zeros. So I'm looking at 202 with 1, 2, 3 with 6 zeros. And round my number is my decimal's all the way at the end. So that would be my answer. And since this is a whole number, I could go in and put commas. Example 5. 4G converted to mg. That G is a base unit. It's grams. Converting it to mg, which is milligrams. But let's set up our chart. King Henry died, remember DK, base died by drinking chocolate milk. This time my base unit is G. I'm going to go ahead and set up my chart. I know my base unit's grams, so it's one letter. So it's going to be kilogram, hectogram, decagram. My base unit's grams. Remember, your base units are just one letter. Decigram, centigram, milligram. So let's look at where I'm starting in my problem. 41 grams. There's where 41 grams is. And I'm going to mg, which is milligrams. 1, 2, 3 places to the right. So I'm moving the decimal 3 places to the right. Okay, so here's 41. Don't see a decimal, so I know it's there behind it. 1, 2, 3. So my decimal is no longer there. It's all the way at the end, and I fill in with 3 zeros. My decimal is there. I don't have to put my decimal there, but it's a whole number because it's all the way to the back of it. Example 6. Going from millimeters to meters. So my base unit's going to be meters. King Henry died. Your base units by drinking chocolate milk. Quickly setting up my chart. And look, I'm not being really neat with it. It's okay. I'm just kind of setting it up. I'm going from 56. Now remember, this is going to be kilometers, hectometers. Decameters has the DK. Meters is your base unit. Decimeters, centimeters, millimeters. So I'm going from 56 millimeters, which is right there, 1M, which is a base unit. So I'm going all the way to here. This time, if I'm starting here, I'm not moving to the right. This time I'm moving to the left. 1, 2, 3. So I'm moving 3 places to the left. So if I have 56, don't see a decimal. It's got to be at the end. 3 places to the left. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to, now my decimal's not there, but it's here. I have to put that decimal because that's 56 thousandths. If I don't put that decimal there, it's going to be just 56. And there's a big difference between 56 and 56 thousandths. Example 7. Now, look at how this is written. It's kind of written kind of crazy. But it means it wants to know how many meters is the same thing as 49 kilometers. So I could simply, it could be right just like that. So if you see something that's written like that, notice that I rewrote it to look like that. So King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Kilometer, hectometer, decameter, meter, because that's my base unit, decimeter, centimeters, whoops, sorry, got a little carried away there. That would be millimeters. So I've set up my chart. I'm going from kilometers to meters. So I'm going 1, 2, 3 places to the right. Don't see a decimal with 49, so I know I've got to go 1, 2, 3. So my decimal's no longer there. It's there at the end. Add my 3 zeros. Now, in this case, I don't have to put that decimal behind those zeros. If I do put it, it's not wrong, but I don't have to have it. All right. This says convert from meters to centimeters. So I had to read this part first. Convert from meters to centimeters. So if I have 3 meters, it wants to know how many centimeters. Set up my chart again. King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Remember, the more I do this, the more it gets in my brain. Okay, so let's set up our chart. This time I'm dealing with meters. So kilometer, hectometer. This should have been a decameter. Base units meter, decimeter, centimeters, millimeters. I'm going from 3 meters to centimeters. 2 places to the right. There's my decimal. 1, 2. My decimal's not there. It's there. I fill in with 2 zeros. So it equals 300. Convert 12 kilometers to meters. So if I have 12 kilometers is how many meters? Same thing. King Henry died, don't forget the K, by drinking chocolate milk. kilometers, hectometers, decameters, my base units meters, decimeters, centimeters, millimeters. Set up my chart. Remember, the more I do this, just the better I get. So I'm starting with 12 kilometers and I'm going to meters. 1, 2, 3 places to the right. 1, 2, 3. My decimal's no longer there. It's there. So I fill in with 3 zeros. I can either put my decimal or don't have my decimal. In that case, it doesn't matter. How many centimeters is in 1 meter? So notice how I set that up. Even though it was worded this way as a question, it's really just wanting to know that 1 meter is how many centimeters. King Hector died by drinking chocolate milk. Kilometer, hectometer, decameter, meter, decimeter, centimeter, millimeter. 1 meter, quickly set up my chart. 1 meter is how many centimeters? 2 places to the right. There's 1, 2. There's my decimal. 1, 2. Decimal's not here anymore. It's here. I fill in with 2 zeros. So one thing before you work each one of the problems, you're going to need on the quiz today, you're going to need a piece of paper and you're going to need to go ahead and have your chart written out so that you can use it to convert. And just remember, King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Kilo, hecto, this is deca. These are your base units. Remember, it could be meters, liters, or grams. Deci, centi, milli. Use this chart when you have to convert.